Hello, now we come to an interesting part of this project. We're going to start on the outline of the guitar. The first thing I notice is that there are some straight lines involved around here in this rectangular cutout, and looks like a straight portion at the back here. So the first thing I think we'll do is we'll put a reference center line in which stretches right through it, and we'll start it at this point here where there's a radius dimension to the back of this cutout. So we'll start our center line at that point and go right through the guitar. We're going to use over here this construction line. So we'll start our reference line there and take it right through. So we want it horizontal. So if we tab to the angle at the back here, the angle, type 0, tab, that locks that angle to 0, and then just click, and we've got our reference line through. So we'll start off with these straight lines. Now there's a very accurate angle in there. Now I don't know what that's for. Some of you guitar making guys will probably know what that angle is for. It's quite accurate. It's 0.84 plus 0 minus 0.25 degrees. I don't know exactly why that is. Perhaps someone can tell me, a guitar expert. So for this demo we're just going to put a plain rectangle in and then curve the back of it later on when we come to do the pocketing, the cutout. So as I say, it's 3 inches by 2.2, so we'll just make a rectangle that size, then place it in position. So 3 inches there, 3 inches, tab, 2.2, return. Now that we've got our rectangle, we need some sort of helper line in here so that we can accurately position the rectangle. So we want to be at the junction of this vertical line and our center, so we'll just put, oops, oh, it's better off if you select the line, and that's all we need. So now with the move tool we can select, double click, move that to the center of that, up to the end of this line. There we go. If we want to, we can now select that and delete it. So there we've got our rectangle in position. Roughly the right place. We'll put some curves on it, 3/16 radius, so that's 0.1875 and 0.1875. So that's that. Now back here there's a straight line at this back edge. I think it's roughly 2 inches either side. Select line, press the shift key, and we get a temporary anchor point, go up 2 inches, return, 90, tab 4 inches, 4, tab, escape. So that is all we have got drawing so far, a rectangle with a couple of radii and this straight piece here. Now we're going to start drawing this spline. So we select the spline and it's going to start somewhere around here. Now if you started simply by locating a place and selecting it, you notice that the spline just comes straight off the original line, which is not exactly what we want. We want to blend this line in nicely with the horizontal one here. So the way to do that is, I'll just escape that, find your point, hold the Alt key down. Now you notice a couple of parallel lines have come beside the point on the line here, which means that the bezier is going to come off at a tangent. Click. I've released the Alt button now, so whatever you do now, the spline is going to come off that horizontal line at a tangent, which enables it to blend in nicely. So we're a little bit, the lines don't match up quite well, but we'll start it. And thinking about the exercise we did earlier in part 1, we'll start about here and start carefully. See how the line, if you move, the line sort of pivots around the knot we've just made. So that's going to get a bit too, so another one there. We're getting a bit straighter here. It's still following the curve nicely. We're bending a bit more, so we'll put a knot there and it'll eventually conform. You see how it starts to, when you move this point, it starts to conform to the line. Want as few points as possible, you see. Getting a bit too bent there. So I would say about there, we should be able to compensate there and go a bit further and around. See, it's conforming to the line behind. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. If you make a knot by accident, Control Z gets rid of the last one you made. So then you can go back. Seems to be, now it's, the line here is changing direction. So we're forced to put a knot here. Now we've got to be careful because look, this is, we've got to stabilize that point there. So now was changing direction there again, so we'll put a point there and it doesn't look too bad. We're starting to, the line is starting to straighten out now, so you see how it eventually follows the curve. If you know you're going to go in the same curve and direction, it'll compensate So we go with changing direction here. Well, no, we're straightening out. So we do, right. We're going fairly straight. Now we can cut this one a bit because it's going to compensate. Or not there, then it'll flex back. That looks good. Now we've got a virtual straight line here, so we can go up to where it starts to curve a bit. Look as though we're going to be curving a bit more here, so that will compensate. Okay, now we've got quite a curve coming up, so it's going to compensate for the gaps here as we go around. Notice that? Now, so we'll still cut the curve a bit because it'll compensate later. There we are. And here it's getting straighter, and now we're getting close to, going to make a little judgment. The line is about there, and this is our straight line. Now then, we'll get a discontinuity here if we just close it there, but if we press the Alt key, we'll get little parallel lines showing that this line is going to join that one at a tangent, which is exactly what we want. So there we go. So now what we have is what looks like to me is a beautiful spline curve around there. So I'll just go ahead now and do the rest of the spline around and speed this one up because you know what's happening. So the first thing we do is start here, press the Alt key because we want a tangent and start that off, and we'll zoom in so we can become more accurate. We seem to be a bit off here, so we've got to compensate a little bit. We've got a curve here. Now we're changing direction, so we can cut that one off, corner off a bit, curve off a bit, because it's going to compensate by going the other way. And we're straightening out. Something of an art form doing this, you know. changing direction again. So if we cut that one off a bit, like put a gap here, when it changes direction it'll bend round the curve. Now a nice tight bend here, so that should be able to help us. So you see we're cutting that curve off, but it's going to compensate as we go around. I think that was too much. Control Z. We'll put it there and we'll cut that off a little bit. Cut that one off. That was too much. Control Z. We'll put it there. And finally, we're going to be mating up with the end point of that corner here, so we'll settle for that and escape. I'm not sure I like that. Oh well, hold on. Control Z. Right, we're back here. And do another Z. Right. Right. There we are. So I'm now pressing the Alt key and we get the parallel lines. Do you see that? So we'll settle for that. That's a tangent to that radius. So now we'll take that. So we've got a nice tangent there. Now of course we can turn this off and we'll see what we've got. Now that looks smooth. I can't see any lumps and bumps in it. It looks nice and smooth all the way around. And trim key, we'll trim the bits off. Make sure we've got a bit there. So there is our guitar shape. Just notice this here. We've got a bit of a corner there, unlike at the other end. Where is it? Oh, we've got that. So how do we blend that into there? So we'll press the Alt key, get the parallel lines and find the first knot, which is there. Select that. And the trim key, so there I do believe we have got a nice blend from there to there. We've eliminated that corner. So that's sorted that one out, so I think we can go ahead now. And now that we've got the outline of our guitar, we can pull it to the thickness we require. P for pull. And the thickness of the guitar starts out at 1.75 inches. That's our basic guitar shape. So in the next part we'll start cutting out the pockets for the neck and the various guitar furniture, pickup controls, etc. See you soon. Bye.